Have you ever thought, is this it? Is this all there is? Is this all I'm meant for? Is there something else I'm meant to be doing? Have you ever desired to have more for your life, to change your life? If so, this video is for you. And today I'm going to share the top 3 things that I did to completely transform my life. So stick around. Okay, so it was 2012, and there I was being a teacher. I was a 5th grade elementary school teacher. I had been teaching in the public schools for 7 years, and I was a good girl. I had done what everyone wanted me to do, what I had said I was going to do since I was little. I came from a family of teachers, and everyone was a teacher, and there I was, teacher. And I looked around at my life and I thought, there has to be something more. I want something else. This can't be it. I started to get what Joseph Campbell refers to as the call. There was a deeper yearning inside of me. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, I spent my whole life getting ready to be a teacher. I had a master's degree in elementary education. I spent 7 years, and there were so many wonderfully fulfilling things about working with kids and children. I still love that. But it was at a time when really the creativity was being sucked out of elementary education, and I was yearning for a deeper creative expression. I started to get this call, and I wondered what else could be possible. And I paid attention to my hunches and my intuition, and I ended up signing up for psychic classes and then a year-long clairvoyant training program at Psychic Horizon, a school in Boulder where I lived. So, the first tip that I have for you today, if you can relate to this, if you're feeling stuck, bogged down, you want a greater purpose, you want more for your life, you're desiring to live bigger, to give back, to have more of an impact, the first thing I recommend that you do is pay attention to your intuition, to your hunches, to that still small voice. I was getting this desire, this inkling, this voice. And I had looked through this magazine and I saw Psychic Horizons and I wrote it down in a notebook and then I ignored it for a couple of years. And then one day it was just finally time and I went there and I took a class. So if you're getting those hits, if things are starting to come across your conscious mind, if you're noticing things are showing up out in your physical world, pay attention. Those are hunches guiding us on our way. The second thing that happened was after I signed up for this program and I did the year-long clairvoyant healing program and I took some other courses there, I started to wonder if I could do it over my kitchen table. If I could just open up shop and start giving readings to people. And I did. And crazily enough, like I invited a man who I didn't know into my home to give him a reading over my table. Now, we were Facebook friends. We did have mutual friends in common, so I didn't feel like it was unsafe. But I did have my first ever session at my kitchen table in my condo. And this person loved their reading. They gave me $100 cash, and then they gave me another $100 on top of it for a reading for their partner. And I was elated. It was affirmation and confirmation that this could be a viable option for me. This could be another thing that I could do. So, what I decided to do was quit my career, right? So, I cashed in my retirement and I flew to Tulum, Mexico. I did a yoga teacher training. I took a year off and I built my business and invested in my business online. Now, where I was at the time, I felt completely stuck at first. I thought, I'm dependent on my paycheck. I'm dependent on my insurance. I'm dependent on all these things. And what I didn't know at the time was that I could cash in my retirement. They would match it and I could use that. So the second piece of advice I have for you is if you're feeling like you are bound, like you're feeling like there's no options, there's no money available, I would really start to ask some questions like, what else must I know? What else could I receive? What else could I perceive? What am I not getting? Where else could the money come from? Get curious about where you might have money that you're not aware of. because oftentimes we get bogged down with these like overlays, these energetic programs where we just think we're stuck and then we believe it. But when I started saying, well, where else is there money? Where else could I get money? Of course, many would say maybe it's not a great financial decision to cash in your retirement. For me, it was the best decision at the time. So start asking questions and get really curious about what you're not perceiving or receiving or thinking about that could open up some possibilities for you. So I cashed in my retirement. I started building my business online, giving readings, and it's been over a decade now. So the rest is history. I started creating courses and online programs, working with other women and men from all over the world, and it's been a viable business. It was a great choice. As I said, it's been over a decade and I'm still seeing clients in my business. So it was a fantastic move for me. But before I could really make all that happen, I had to, number one, pay attention to that voice. Number two, I had to figure out where I had some resources that I wasn't aware of. And number three, I needed to actually start voicing it out loud. One of the biggest things that gets in our way is we want something, we have an idea or an inkling of something we desire, but we're afraid to speak it. We're afraid to say it, as we should be, because when you start to say it, it becomes real. So I didn't want to tell my mom and my family that, you know what, after all, I'm not going to be like you and I'm not going to stay in this teaching career for 30 years and I'm not going to retire as a fifth grade teacher. And there's something else I want to do and I'm going to take a big risk and I'm going to give up my insurance and I'm going to give up my paycheck and my security and I'm even going to give up my retirement. Aren't you excited for me? I'm going to go out on my own and, build a business online as a psychic. Isn't that great? Right? No, you can imagine that my family was like, "What are you doing?" My mother actually told me that I would probably be the ruin of her and that, this was just going to take us down. This was going to make me dependent on her for the rest of my life. And she was really scared because she's a different generation. She's a boomer and I'm Gen X and we're the star seeds and we're the angelic beings coming in at this time to forge a new pathway and to raise the frequency on the planet and to shift how we do things. Because what was true for her in her time is no longer true for us in our time. So, those are the top three things I really recommend you do. Number one, pay attention to your hunches, pay attention to your dreams. If you're not dreaming, really take a look at your sleep and your habits there so that you can have astral travel time at night and get important messages from your guides and your spiritual team. Number two, you absolutely have to start to look at what are you not seeing? What are you not perceiving? What else must you know, be, do, have, perceive to receive more right away? And number three, you have to be willing to speak your truth out loud and begin to tell people your plan and your idea. If that seems super scary, start with just writing it down in your journal. Sometimes just writing something down allows it to get out of us and onto the page, and then our nervous system relaxes. We can see it. We can start to work with it. It's like not the big, scary, fire breathing dragon that we're perceiving as it just spins around in the blender of our mind. So, I hope that those top three tips help. And if you are someone who's wondering what your purpose is, you're really struggling, you're wanting to break through, you're wanting to make a shift or a change, I do offer clairvoyant healing and reading sessions. You can go to my website at theboulderpsychic.com/book, and you can book a session to connect with me. And we can really look at what might be in the way of you taking that next right step. Thank you for joining with me today, and I'll see you on the flip side.